Alright lads, back in for another video, just in time for the new year. I wanted to bring in 2026 for the video by the end of 2025, so if you're watching this in New Year's, Happy New Year. I'll sure you see you again in 2026 when UFC's back. I've been a bit slacking on these, but look, I'm going to try my best to get a few more uploads. Today I wanted to actually rank every title fight from the worst to best throughout the whole year. There was actually, I was going to say 19, but I forgot the 2 in December, so there's actually 21 title fights, which is kind of mad to say. So, not really going to waste too much time, just going to go get down to them. So here we are at the tier list, and this is going to be everyone starting from Jan. Merab somehow nearly ends the year. Well, technically they did actually. Merab ended and started the year, which might be a UFC record of some sort. But we are going to start this with the tier list of goated, great, alright, okay, grand, nothing really wrong with it. Meh, shite, absolutely terrible, don't watch it again. And dirt is just giving me my fucking time. What a waste of time. And there's one fight in it. Obviously, I think if you have a pair of eyes, you could probably see what it's going to be in this list. But we'll start Merab versus Usman. Now, I'm going to look at this in 3 different categories. I'm going to look at the hype, I'm going to look at the real anticipation for myself, personally, of course, my opinion, and the fan perception and how good the fight was. So, of course, Merab's going to go and go it for this. I'm going to look at this from a realistic standpoint of he was the 5-2 underdog somehow in this fight. Coming in as the champ was the 5-2 underdog because he has a Russian second name from the Magomedov. Usman was never really great. He only beat Sanhagen, who was number 2 in a bit of a slog 5-rounder to get the title shot. He took all the shots at Merab. Merab showed he was going to do. Then the fight happened. Umar might have broke his hand the first round, but then Merab started a school on him. Really kind of got him done. To me, the interest was Merab, I think, is the machine. I love seeing him being able to spam takedowns. I really like wrestling from the man. And the fan perception coming in was, oh, Usman gonna walk him. And then at the end, it really proved a lot of things. That's the go. That's the first title fight of the year. Next one is Islam Moicano. I'm going to say meh. I don't really think there was a lot of interest on my side once the actual original opponent for Islam fell out and it became Moicano. I don't think anyone really expected or had much belief in Moicano. Maybe even himself started to doubt himself. I wouldn't blame him. You're just coming in to have a pretty slog 5 minutes and get submitted pretty quickly. There was no real hype. It kept Islam going, I suppose, but nothing great inside the division. He technically knocked Islam, but it kind of looked like a slip. Look, I don't know. There's nothing really about it. I'll just say, I kind of doing. Look, we're going. I mean, forgot to mention Moicano tried his whole money shtick, but I need to get paid. No one cares, to be honest. It's very much a meh to me. Into great, we'll go with Zhang and Suarez. Of course, Suarez was 10-0, massive wrestler, champion in wrestling. Was the one who was probably grabbing everything. Somehow Zhang pushed out to the evens. Underdog had to put her as the lock of the week. She won that fight. My bet's going to come into a bit of this as, I love Zhang. This is a fun fight. This is just kind of Zhang showing why she was the champion 115 for so long. A great 5-minute scrap. Nothing really else to do with it. I suppose she neutralised Tatiana Suarez's wrestling, which was great to see. But other than that, I put it great. Strickland DDP 1. I'll also go with great, 2 may I say, obviously. This fight obviously didn't really have the build up the first one did. The first one kind of had the unexpected anticipation for it. The second one was kind of, they're probably going to go out and have a 5-minute war, like realistically, Sean Strickland. Well, a war is just, straight teeps and kicks, but they're fun to watch. These two went out in the press conference, of course, because DDP has to bring it in the press conference. There wasn't many highlights of the fight, to be honest, but it's a fun 25 minutes. If I was to rewatch it over the year, I wouldn't say no to it. I'd say, great, alright, it's not too bad, Now, this one's probably going to be a bit controversial, but I'm going to throw this fight into alright. Ankh Pereira 1. Personally speaking, I don't think many people like Ankalaev. I've never found really any hype behind him. The light heavyweight division's a wrestling wasteland. It's not a very interesting division. Went into this, not much hype coming into it. A good performance by Ankalaev, but you can see Pereira held back and just wasn't in the fight fully, so it wasn't the greatest watch for 25 minutes. I say it's alright. Maybe a bit controversial for what I put the second one as, but as I'm saying, I'd say it's alright. I say it's okay, nothing crazy. I think it is above me. I think it had a bit more interest than Moicano Islam. I think it's just it happened, okay, fair enough. Now, Volk Lopez, that is definitely going to go. There's no argument to this. Volk comes in after getting finished brutally by Topuria, same he done with Max, and same as he done to someone on this account, and this, as you can see at the bottom right. But he came in, he finished him pretty badly, and then everyone's like, Volk won't get it. Volk's the old man, Volk's gone, Volk's over, Volk won't break the 36-year-old curse. Then he done goated stuff and came in and broke it with a brilliant fight. It was one that proved to be Diego Lopez is definitely top level. He went 25 minutes with one of the greatest featherweights ever. Back and forth war. Diego Lopez started to get into it from basically first 2 rounds. I would say he was in the fight, and then even at near the end he got back into it. But Volk obviously used his clear experience from being a champion and having it so many times, broke the old man curse, back on top. Great thing to see. Everyone loves the Volk and loves Alexander Volkanovski. Now, Shevchenko, I'm actually going to throw this thing great, to be honest. I genuinely believe that was quite a good fight between her and Manon Fiorot. I think it was one of these ones that you were coming into a not great hype. You know, a lot of Shevchenko's fights don't have great hype inside this division, if we're being realistic over time. They've kind of become a bit more Shevchenko will probably win that. Now, if we look at this from a realistic standpoint, I was somebody who thought Manon Fiorot was going to come in and get it, so I had a bit more high expectations probably for this fight, and it delivered. I thought this was a very, very fun 25 minutes back and forth. Manon Fiorot proved, obviously, she can go at the top, and after finishing Jasmine Jasovicius, she's definitely very, very good at the top. I don't really think there's many memorable moments, but it's another great title fight. I can't really say anything else. Harrison Pena, I'm actually going to try this in gold. Now, I know it might be a bit of a weird one, but personally speaking, and I think everyone in the MMA scene just wanted to see Jessica Pena lose. Just wanted to see Juliana Pena lose. Sorry, not Jessica. Juliana Pena lose. She was just running her mouth too much. You got an Amanda Nunes who clearly was running after COVID, not ready. You got smoked in that rematch. Got the belt back by beating Raquel Pennington. Rocky's the legend, but no. You went into this and I can wrestle. Blah 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 blah. Kayla Harrison came in, submitted you pretty easily. That was the expected one. I'm just putting it here because everyone wants to see Pena lose. I don't think Pena has any fans in MMA. No one cares. No one likes her. She talks way too much. Not really have a gimmick. She's more annoying because you can't back it up. So that's simply why this is going to go good. I think it was a fun, predictable result, but again, the interest was there, and I think again, seeing Pena get shut down and shut the fuck up, perfectly done. Now into Merab's one. I'm going to try this in to be honest, I think after 25 minutes of the first fight where Merab dominated O'Malley, this rematch didn't really make any sense. It was kind of one of these ones where you're in a division that's actually kind of active. Why is O'Malley getting a second chance where he didn't do anything in the first? And of course the O'Malley lovers were there thinking, wait, what about if he gets a strike going for 25 minutes? And he lasted 3 rounds this time, and Merab even doing even more domination and submit him in north-south. The press conference didn't really have memorable moments. There wasn't really anything Sean could say. He already had lost the first fight. Pointless second fight. Didn't have much interest from myself or really the media, so it has to go there. Next we go into Kaikar, France, and I'll try this into alright. Personally speaking, I'm not a big fan of Pantoja's reign. I've never really been a big Pantoja man. He's just gotten 2 strikers he can easily dominate on the ground. I had a bit of hype about KK France being able to do something, Kaikara doing something, but then again the rest of him was too heavy. He took him down. Predictable finish. No real hype around the media. It's one of those title fights that happened. Would I rewatch it? No. So we'll move ahead. Okay, this one's going to go good. Charles Oliveira versus Ilia Topuria. This one's kind of predictable. Topuria's realistically gone into GOAT status already this quickly after running 3 fights, considering he's finished Charles brutally finished Vulcan, brutally finished Max. And look, you may have said that this could have been predictable, which it probably was, but it's still impressive to see, finishing a fan favourite. It's always fun watching Charles fight. Ilia done it in the most shocking way. He was kind of in it, then Ilia stands that 1-2 and Charles is out. He's gone. That's just the way to do it. Of course, man because double champ kind of has to go here. We go into Holloway Poirier. I'm actually throwing this in gold. Now, this one might be a bit biased, but I'm throwing them in gold because, again, it's the retirement of the Diamond. It's the perfect event. They go to Lafayette, Louisiana, where he's from. They get all the high packages. They get everything. Fun fight. Maybe Dustin wasn't really there 100%. His brain probably wasn't on the fight, for being realistic. He was probably ready to leave the sport. But still, I would say that this was a fun fight. Fun 25 minutes. Bit of build-up, obviously. 2 vets coming in for a trilogy fight. And, yeah, coming in for the trilogy. End of Poirier's career is kind of the main point, and yeah, you kind of have to put a go at it. It's the real career of the Diamond. It never needed a belt to shine, and fair enough, he gets it. Next we go into Dirt, the absolute worst fight of the fucking year, and I don't care if you said this is a literal fight where I'm like, just give me out my fucking time. I was actually working during this fight. For a lot of people that don't know, a lot of these title fights, I was probably on a night shift in my job, and this is probably one of the fights where about the 4th round I just said, right, they got into crucifix for the 4th time. I think Hamza had landed 3 strikes in the top mount from that point, just literally lying on him. I said, I'll just go work, I'll watch the rest of it on phone. one of the worst fights I've ever seen, to be genuinely honest. Worst main event of the year, Apex, anything included, worst title fight of the year. 25 minutes of one of the most boring fights ever, and I'm not sure why. The media coverage coming in was really funny. The memes are funny. Oh, DDP doesn't know the script, he's gonna drop an anvil, blah 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 blah. Hansel had his own stuff going on. The smash everybody gimmick, which was a bit stale at this point, but kind of fucking dumb at this point, but still, you could believe it after he absolutely dominated Robert Whittaker. But this was just a misstep. I don't know. And I know I'm going to get DDP should have stopped wrestling, but why is Hamza just sitting on him for 25 minutes? It's so strange. Yes, he has the cardio of a 95-year-old woman after COVID. His immune system is more shot than someone with leukemia. Yes, I know that, but it's one of those things where, what is going on? Why are you just sitting on him? Like, if his cardio didn't let him down, he's never really been much of a striker. You've seen it against Gilbert Burns and Usman. Both them dropped him, both them bought him very big fights. His cardio's always let him down in these sort of fights. The one thing they got right against Robert Whittaker is take him out early. If you take him out early, your gas tank has nothing to do with it. But just to not break a sweat and wrestle and do absolutely nothing, like the striking numbers, I'm actually, to be honest, I wasn't even going to look up striking numbers for this fucking stuff, but I have to look up the striking numbers. If you type in DDP, the first thing is Hamzat, because of course it is, because it's the worst fight in UFC history. It has to be. It is one of the strangest fights, and of course I blame DDP as well. You're telling me out of 5 rounds, there was 37 significant strikes. Like Hamza threw 529 out of 567. He had 21 minute control time. Did any of them do anything? They were literally the same number of strikes you could probably get hit when someone just goes. It was one of the oddest fights per round. Like, the first round, there was 1 significant strike out of 2, and he threw 131 strikes. How is that even possible? What are you doing? Like, you get 1 of 1 takedowns, you have 4 minutes control. Second round, 4 minutes control. 447, 446, 422. And out of that time, there's a combined total of the first 4 rounds. You have 4, 8, 9... 27. You have 27 significant strikes out of nearly 456. Okay, Hamza tried. He got a few strikes in. He didn't try 1 submission. There was nothing good about this fight. If you ever want to troll a new fan to this sport, tell them to watch this fight, because they'll turn it off in 5 fucking seconds. This is the biggest fight that you have. The media hype is actually really big for this fight, and this was the shit. No. We're not even going to talk about it. I'm already annoyed, right? We're just going to move ahead to Goated. And we're going to go back to Poatan versus Onk 2. Now, I'm a bit more biased on this one because, again, this one happened when I was in Amsterdam, so I was a bit off the Mary Jane, let's just say that. I was in Amsterdam when this happened. This was actually on my birthday, because this was on the 1st of October. This was great, because, look, I said this leading up to it. Before I left, I said Pereira's going to come back in here focused. Pereira was 2-1. I shot him as the underdog. I knew he was going to come back in here focused. Then the tire shop comment, and that was not what you wanted to say. You could see from that stare off from just the stone-faced killer dynamic, you know he's going to cut the distance to what Pereira does, gives you no space, sucking you out like a fucking fat blanket. He's on top of you, and he absolutely rains down hammer fists, easy as you like. We then move into Merab versus Sanhagen. I'll go alright, okay? To be honest, look, I have Merab here a few different times, man, alright. They're just not fights that coming into it you really have much hype behind. I didn't have much hype behind this one. I kind of thought it's going to be a wrestle fest. Merab's just going to take him down at will. It happened. I know a lot of people say Corey's a dangerous striker, Corey's that. Look, it's the same as the Sean O'Malley thing. All the similarities are there. Once Merab fights someone who can't wrestle, it's easy stuff. I really don't want to talk about it too much. Right, Zhang and Shevchenko are going to be the first fight to go in shite. So, just to clarify, Dirt is give me back my fucking time. Shite is, the fight happened, I'm not going to watch it again, it was shite, it's simple as that. I think Shevchenko needs to come here. I honestly, you can't really sit here and tell me it doesn't, because this one actually had probably the most hype for a women's fight in 20 odd years, easily speaking. It's probably one of the most memorable fights that's ever happened. It's one of those ones where you look at it from a certain angle and it's the women's fight that really set up who's the best in the UFC, who's the better of the 2 lower weights. And then you had a 25-minute slug where Shevchenko was clearly just more powerful than Zhang. Nothing interesting about it, no finish potential, nothing. It was just
Shevchenko has more fight power than Zhang. That's it. She will take her down. Simple as that. There was no real media hype. Nothing really in the press conference. Just a lot of love to Zhang. No real hype afterwards, no real surprises, just it happened. Islam JDM in the exact same boat, 25 minutes of slog. Islam becomes a double champ. To be honest, I don't really want to talk about it. It's just, anytime Islam actually got in defeat, he was winning it, but then obviously he went back to the corner to Khabib, and, if you don't take him down, Khabib's probably going to feed you to goats or something along those lines. So, yeah, look, he became double champ, but still shy. I wouldn't really watch it. It was 25 minutes of slog. Both these fights happened at 5 and 6 in the morning for me. I couldn't barely keep my eyes open. I really couldn't care. It was just one of those things. Once it was over, telly was off, I'm going to it. Simple as that. No real need. I will throw this one into meh. I think Van Pantoja is a weird one, because look, I had Van picked. I thought there's a bit more hype behind this. Van looked like the most reasonable one to finally actually give Pantoja a real challenge, to give the cannibal a challenge. Breaks his arm in the first 30 seconds. It falls down to meh. I would like to see a rematch. I think that's pretty easy. And we'll move to the last fight of the year. With everything being considered, I'm going to have to throw Jan and Goated, because, again, I'm giving the Usman fight. Jan put on a perfect performance here. I didn't have this on my card. I don't think a lot did. This is one of the bigger shocks of the year. 25 minutes of pure and utter domination from Jan. He showed how to break the morale puzzle. He showed how to break down the machine, technically speaking. He took him down as he started the year. As the champ, he ends the year without the belt. Jan's back in his rightful spot before then he was Sterling. The media hype was good because, it was kind of just, can Petr Yan get back to his top spot afterwards? Big shock. Good feel-good moment for MMA. I'm not going to be a prick. Of course, this has to go Goated. And I have actually just realised I forgot a fight. Hold on. Very unprofessional of me. I may have just realised we forgot Mackenzie Dern versus Dreen Varoba. I'm actually going to throw it in alright, okay? To be honest, that 25 minutes, not much hype coming into it. It's eventually a belt that Zhang's just going to come back and win. No one's going to be shocked when she comes back. But Mackenzie Dern put in a performance that was respectable. Dreen Varoba is the one I would have went with, but Mackenzie Dern dominated on the ground. She really showed that she's good. Her striking looks solid and crisp. Dare I say, she has a bit more interest in a Zhang rematch now. If this fight was run back in, obviously, probably 2026 or maybe 2027 when they get the belt going. Dern didn't do too bad. And yeah, you know what? It's alright. I won't say anything else. But you know what? That's going to be the video. So, if you did enjoy the video, please hit the like button or hit the subscribe button. I will try and get a few more done. If I don't, of course, Happy New Year and all that. I'll see you in 2026. I'll see you next year, I suppose, probably the way to say it. But anyways, if you did enjoy the video, please hit the like button or hit the subscribe button. I'll see you next one. Peace.